They chose the wrong night, the wrong place, and the wrong witness, because when the Billionaire CEO Adrian Vale stepped out of the private elevator into the quiet, candlelit rooftop restaurant, the city humming far below, for men were already moving, too fast, too coordinated, too certain of victory, and no one noticed the waiter wiping a table near the glass railing, a single dad named Imran with tired eyes and a gentle smile. Until everything broke at once, Adrian recognized danger the way successful people do, a tightening behind the eyes, the instinct that wealth paints a target, but instinct wasn't enough when the first man lunged, a blade flashing like a cruel grin, and the second cut off the exit while the third and fourth closed the circle, blocking the lights, the doors, the air itself, and the restaurant froze in a tableau of fear, chairs scraping, wine glasses shattering, the soft music dying mid-note, and Imran felt his heart hammer, not for himself, but for the boy at home asleep with the schoolbook open on his chest, the promise he had made to always come back. Adrian raised his hands, voice calm, offering money, cars, anything, because that's what power usually buys, but the men laughed, because this wasn't a robbery, it was a message, and when the knife dipped toward Adrian's throat, Imran moved, not because he wanted to be a hero, but because his body remembered something his life had tried to bury. Years ago, before tragedy, before a hospital corridor and a phone call that split his world in two, he had been a competitor, a quiet master of a discipline that taught control over chaos, timing over force, breath over panic. The first attacker never saw him coming, felt only a sudden emptiness as his balance vanished, wrist twisted, blade clattering across marble, and the room inhaled as one. The second man swung, wild and angry, but Imran stepped inside the arc, using the man's momentum like a borrowed coat, turning it against him with a precise sweep that put him down without cruelty. The third hesitated, just a fraction too long, and that hesitation was the difference between dominance and defeat, because Imran's hidden skill wasn't strength, it was reading intent, the way he read his son's face when a lie trembled behind a smile, and he knew exactly when to move. Adrian, stunned, found himself pushed behind a table as Imran's calm voice cut through the chaos, telling guests to stay back, telling the attackers to leave now, while the fourth man, the leader, snarled and charged, bigger, meaner, fueled by ego, and in that moment Imran felt fear claw up his spine, but he breathed, the way his old coach taught him, slow in, slower out, grounding himself in the present, and when the charge came, he sidestepped, redirected, and ended it with a controlled strike that stopped the man cold without ending him, because real mastery chooses restraint. Sirens wailed in the distance. Security finally rushed in, and the attackers lay groaning on the floor, their plan shattered by a waiter no one had bothered to notice. Adrian stood there, chest heaving, eyes fixed on Imran with something like awe and something like recognition, because greatness recognizes greatness even when it wears an apron. And as the police took statements, Adrian learned the truth in fragments, how Imran once trained at the highest level, how he walked away after loss to raise his son, how life had humbled him into service without breaking his spirit. And something shifted inside the billionaire that money had never moved. Weeks later, when the headlines faded and the city found a new scandal to chew on, Adrian found Imran again, not with a check, but with an offer to fund a community program, to teach discipline, confidence, and self-control to kids who needed it most, an offer that put Imran back where his skill could save lives before they broke. And when Imran accepted, it wasn't for fame or fortune, but for the promise he made to come back stronger for his son. The night that began with violence ended with purpose, a reminder that the quietest people often carry the deepest power, that heroes don't always wear suits or capes, sometimes they carry trays and keep promises. And if this story moved you, if you believe hidden strength deserves a spotlight and ordinary people can change everything, subscribe to the channel right now, because every week we bring you stories that ignite courage, restore faith, and prove that kindness, skill, and heart can turn the darkest moments into new beginnings. Hit subscribe, stay with us, and don't miss the next story that might change how you see the world.